And do we have Sarah in the room?
Yep, she's
Okay. Hey,
Sarah.
look at you.
Delta. Yep.
Oh, it looks like a Delta commercial.
It's a little noisy in the background, so I'll probably keep it on mute most of the time.
We
Yeah.
don't really hear much.
No,
Earlier
it's
we
good.
had
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's good. Thanks for chiming in. You didn't have to do that,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
good dedication. Thank you for that. All right, you guys. So very good. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We called together this meeting tonight for November 3rd, the Town of Poolesville Commissioners. We've got 4 commissioners behind the desk, 1 virtual in an airport somewhere nearby, right? Yep, that's it. I'm not going to tell you where I am. And then,
I'm in Minneapolis.
okay, very good. Thank you. Thanks, Sarah. And then
On my way home.
okay, good. Woke up, safe flight. And then we have Niles and Wade here from town staff, as well as 2 members of the studio audience. So to get us started, if you don't mind, Ed, if you would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Guys, you sound like you've been in court, Ed. That's how it sounds. Not that I would know. I just from watching videos.
I'm practicing my enforcement.
Oh, I like that. Okay, that's working. Very good. You guys, before we get to anything tonight, I wanted to say that we have Will Millam is here. He is a candidate for Montgomery County Sheriff, and he's a Poolesville resident. And he asked if he could just come in and say a couple words and do an introduction for him. I've known Will for a long time, one of my favorite Poolesville people. I'm glad to see that he's here to hopefully not just provide all the great sheriff's duties that we know he's done with his background. I'll let him explain that more, but also bring another influential Poolesville voice to the county. So if you don't mind, we'll come all up and introduce yourself and say hi. Yep, you're good to go. And the microphone's in the right spot, and you can just talk all day.
Sure. Thank you very much for inviting me here tonight. My name is Will Milam. I am a proud Poolesville resident over the past 13 years, and I've lived in Montgomery County for almost the past 20 years. In my spare time, I coach youth sports. I've coached here at PAA basketball and baseball and UMAC baseball, my son's basketball and baseball teams. And when I'm not doing that, I'm a dedicated lacrosse dad. In February, I retired. I was the chief assistant sheriff in Prince George's County. So I was the second in command of the agency and oversaw all of our operations for one of the more prominent law enforcement agencies in the state of Maryland. I retired and decided to run for sheriff because the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office is broken. We're in the midst of a historic staffing crisis right now, where 30 deputy sheriffs have left over the last 2 years. We have significant morale challenges, as was evident by the deputy sheriffs who did a no confidence vote against the current office holder. And there's no vision for the future. And so I want to usher in a new vision. I want to fix the staffing crisis by changing the culture, which I know I can do. I have experience at that. But then when we do that, I want to focus on 3 core issues. Domestic violence, it's an issue that impacts 12 million people every year. It's a crisis that's hiding in plain sight. And in law enforcement circles, we've talked about domestic violence for years and how we fully wrap our arms around it, but we haven't been able to do that at the meaningful level that I want it to be done at. And so our deputy sheriffs have a major role in that. As you know, our sheriff's office, the traditional roles is the long arm of the court. And so our sheriff's office serves protective orders and peace orders related to domestic violence. They transport prisoners from detention center to detention center or court facility to court facility. They serve all the orders of the courts, things like that, in our county. And so we have a role to play in domestic violence, ending it, and I want our deputies to be more involved in that process. Second is mental health and behavioral health. It's another one of those issues that we've talked about for many years, how law enforcement could have a meaningful response to behavioral health challenges in our communities, and how we help our neighbors who are navigating behavioral health challenges get the care that they need. Because what we know is that people who are navigating behavioral health challenges need care, not cuffs. right? They need a hospital, not a detention facility. And so how can our deputy sheriffs be smarter about that? And how can our law enforcement community be smarter about connecting people with the resources that they need in their time of need? And then the third thing is having a meaningful impact on our youth and our kids, right? They're the next generation. I told you that I coach. I'm not a very good coach. In our last basketball season, we went 0-11. I take full responsibility for that, and I've removed myself as the coach of the team. But perhaps I've enjoyed spending time with those kids more than they even enjoyed it. When I was growing up in DC public schools, we had Officer Friendly show up to the school every Friday. And it was a sharp-dressed police officer with a nameplate that said Friendly. We all thought his last name was Friendly. Turns out it probably wasn't. That probably was just a nameplate. But Officer Friendly had such an impact on me that it made me want to be a law enforcement officer. And 22 years later, here I am. And so I think we can have that same type of impact on our youth and our kids today. We can help remove some of the burden from the Montgomery County Police Department, which my plan does. And I'm here to, you know, because you all are my hometown commission. I am incredibly proud to be from Poolesville. As you know, as recent media reports will tell you, that I talk about it every opportunity I get. And that's a credit to people like you who run this town, who make sure it's a great place for us to live and work and play. And I want to do that at the county level. So that's why I'm here today. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you giving me a platform, Mr. President.
Oh, of course. So you guys, everybody's welcome to ask Will a question. Again, I've known him for as long as he lived here, but I've always called you Millum only because I've read your name a bazillion times, and that's, I'm 66. I mean, come on.
It's okay. I've been called that my whole life, so it's
Okay, good. You didn't have to say it, but that's fine. Thank you. You guys, questions for Will? I'm open for anybody having a conversation with him tonight, so including you, Sarah. Anything for Will, you guys?
No, I appreciate you coming in. Is that one? I think. Appreciate you coming in. Obviously, it's the first time I've met you, but I appreciate the presentation. It's people like you, again, providing community service like we do. So I do appreciate your time and your 22 years
Thank you.
at PG, and welcome further discussions with you.
Thank you.
Talking about his 0-11 contribution?
Yeah.
Is that what
That doesn't sway my vote one way or the other.
Let's not talk about the 0-11.
Listen, you just need to be a better recruiter. That's
right.
Your coaching, I'm sure, was fine. Anybody else, you guys, for Will? Conversation with him.
I feel your pain with the 11. I'm a very bad basketball.
Oh, I didn't even bring that up for you.
Well, maybe I'll put forth some legislation before you all on NIL deals.
Oh, okay.
I
mean, that's something.
a conversation for a different
There's a
day.
saying about those who can do, those who can't coach.
That's right.
And those that can't coach volunteer.
That's exactly right.
Perfect.
now.
That's right.
Perfect.
They run for sheriff.
That's right.
Oh,
That's right.
oh, my Lord. That's good. Ed, anything?
Yeah, a couple of things. One is definitely want to thank you for coaching kids right here in our community. I think that's very important. As a person who I coached here for a number of years, boys basketball through the rec league, where we had a Poolesville team. We might not have lost 11. We might have lost 10 or 9. but nevertheless, what I notice about the kids in Poolesville, though, with the athletics, they're just very nice kids. And I remember telling my team, I said, treat the basketball like it's your cell phone. Go after it like someone stole your phone when you're trying to get a rebound. Right? But just very polite, nice kids. The other piece, though, just being as a former coach, and I coach girls basketball now at the school that I work at, and when I think about the responsibility of a coach to pour into kids and being able to model and demonstrate leadership, character, helping them to make good choices, decision making. So all that is very admirable. And I will say that I've seen you at a couple of different events over the last several months. Matter of fact, a couple of weekends, there's an event going out to help young men just to make better decisions. And I saw you there when we were working with parents. And so I look forward to you running and hope to see that bring up that morale that I see with some of our law enforcement, not just the sheriffs, but also some of the different officers that I get a chance to talk to. And I think about some of the challenges. I heard you say if there's a way to help reduce some of the pressure on our MCPD
Yeah.
through the sheriff's office, I would love to talk offline and see what that vision looks like.
Absolutely.
Because for me, working in the school system and talking to different officers, dealing with different situations, and then knowing that recruitment number is still not where it needs to be to take the burden off the officers who don't quit.
That's right.
And I think that's really important. So I'm glad that you brought up the morale piece and reducing the workload.
That's right.
So that's all I have to say. I'll turn it over to Jim.
Great, and thank you for that. Sarah, anything for you?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I want to echo the thanks from Alan and Ed. Really appreciate you coming in. Appreciate all you've done. I would love to hear more about your plans for changing organizational culture. You said you have some experience with that before. Obviously, you don't need to go into great detail, but just would love a general sense of your strategy. How would you do that?
Yeah, so I think the results of the no confidence vote that was just passed against the current office holder told us that morale was a big issue. It was a culture of fear. It's a culture of retaliation. People walk in to work and they feel like they're walking on eggshells. So the first thing is you got to change the culture. And if you change the culture, you can stop people from bolting for the exits. We've lost 30 deputy sheriffs in the last 2 years. So outside of the recruitment piece, we're not talking about our ability to recruit and use advertisements and commercials and all that stuff is separate. We've got to stop the bleeding. We've got to stop people from walking out of the door. And they're walking out of the door because of the culture. So the place is in need of a culture change. And when I was the chief assistant sheriff in Prince George's County, we started off with a 16% vacancy rate, and by the time I retired, we closed that to 6%. We hired almost 32 deputy sheriffs in a 2-year window. And what it turned into is that our workforce were our own best recruiters. They drive around in billboards every day that say sheriff on the side of the car. But it wasn't until those deputies got out of those cars and started telling people, we work at an awesome place, man. You should come work with us. We found that many of the deputy sheriffs that we were able to hire over that 2-year window were referred to us by our own employees. And so that's a sign that the culture's right. If your own employees are telling other people, come join this place. That's not what's happening at the sheriff's office now. So that's a way that we can change the culture. We can stop the bleeding. We can stop people from bolting for the exits. The way that the agency head does that, the leader does that, is by investing in our employees. They make a heck of an investment into Montgomery County. They make a heck of an investment into the sheriff's office. They wear those uniforms for 8 to 12 hours every single day. They risk their lives. They put on our bulletproof vests under their shirts. And we ask them to go out there and do a really difficult job. And so as an agency head, as a leader, I have to be focused on how we can invest in them. How can I give our employees better educational opportunities? And how can I give them better training opportunities and leadership opportunities? Leadership opportunities don't just present themselves in the form of rank. It's not just a lieutenant or a captain, but there could be a peer support team at the sheriff's office that someone could be a leader of. I want to work with our kids and be engaged with our youth. Somebody's going to have to lead that charge from within the sheriff's office. So there are many opportunities that we can give. And then what type of outside training are we seeking for them? Are we sending people to the FBI National Academy? The answer is no right now. Are we sending people to the best training for law enforcement in the country? The answer is no right now. And so as an agency head, I would be focused on changing that culture, investing in our employees. And I think when you invest in the employees, they'll invest tenfold back into you.
I don't know if that was where you started, Sarah, but that's where we.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, good. Thank you. All right. Anybody else have anything for Will? Will, just from a commissioner standpoint as well as the town of Poolesville standpoint, again, for all the reasons I said when I gave you the intro, we really are rooting for your success, and we know you're going to represent Poolesville and be another cog in our wheel of success, where we're more people are doing more things with Poolesville and because of Poolesville, and you're going to be one of them, and it's going to be for all the right reasons. So you definitely have my support. I don't expect anybody else to say anything tonight, but you have my support. You know that, and we'll be rooting for you big time.
Thank you very much.
All right, good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again.
Thanks, buddy.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, and you're not required to stay for the rest of the meeting.
Okay. Thank you.
I always let people know that.
Right.
Thank you very
All
much.
right, see you, buddy. Good
Take
seeing
care.
you. Thank you. All right, very good. That was great seeing Will here tonight. Again, another outstanding Poolesville person doing something big. I appreciate that for him. We'll do our committee announcements and reports. And Alan, if you want to start us off down on the end there, I'd appreciate it.
All righty. Good old Parks, Rec, and Streets. First of all, we have our next meeting is this Wednesday. So we have a small agenda, but a few things on there. But more so, last meeting we approved the Eagle Scout project proposed by Jay Tiemann. Entails construction of 22 bluebird hat boxes stalled around the fences over by the solar panels, the maintenance building per se. She presented a thorough digital plan of materials and resources and tools. Plans to start building them right around Thanksgiving. A little bit after Thanksgiving. I spoke with her the other day. I ran into her. And I know Preston's going to help out a little bit and guide her since he's helped every other Eagle Scout, I believe, on some kind of project. And I believe we have a few more Eagle Scout projects that are probably finishing up. I think the benches have a couple small things.
Yeah, the benches are in. I think they're just touching up.
Yeah, just a couple. But yeah, so the Eagle Scouts are always, they do great projects around here. So another thing is it's tree planting season. So we got some deliveries coming up this week, and then we'll start going ahead and getting those in the ground. Holiday lighting. We actually are going to start doing the Christmas lights, the new Christmas lights, right? The new Christmas lights, probably the second or third week in November. So it's a couple weeks away. Field maintenance. Obviously, the parks have been, we got a little bit of rain, which was good. But, it's time to get them winterized and everything's good for that. And I appreciate the guys coming out and doing all that, considering they have 1,000 other tasks a week that they were on the schedule, not including what's emergency. I'm going to bypass the conference. Well, you know what? I'll talk about the MML conference that Ed and I went to. It's great. It's another good conference we had, 3 days. In a nutshell, on Sunday, our first meeting was 45 minutes away from WISP, but it was in downtown Cumberland. Met with Mayor Norris again. Obviously, we spent quite a bit of time down here in Ocean City with them. But they had a $17.2 million streetscape that was completed on Baltimore Street. So Ed and I got a chance to walk that, ask a lot of questions, stop by the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad Station, did a little tour of that. Didn't go on a ride, but it was okay. Learned a lot about the whole process and the historic values that they have there. And then we trekked back to WISP. And I think one of the first meetings that I had was a public safety community collaboration session class. Basically everything that we have daily dealt with. Crosswalk safety, public safety, cars, bicycles, and literally, just walkers, strollers, you name it. But again, got some good ideas about that. I know obviously we've had some talk about the four-way, but we can get back to that later in town. But we're on top of it, community and residents. We've done our data, we've done our research. But I just want to let the local residents know that we're taking this all into consideration. And then another big one and I think Brian had met a couple of these people at the summer conference, but the fall conference, the playgrounds, parks, and possibility session, about an hour and a half class. One of the hosts was Eric Lutke, Dawn's husband from he's director of capital projects with a DNR and appointed by, I believe, Westmore. So very knowledgeable. Went through the inside, shared a lot of particular useful of budgets, constructions, and real milestones. A lot of the municipality heads or council members were trying to push stuff through in 6 to 12 months, and obviously, I'm more of the 2 to 4 year guy just to get your paperwork in and just ideas, because everything changes. Obviously, a lot of the resources are getting more expensive, every year, but just good to have a good plan. But I do have plenty of notes that I'll be presenting on Wednesday to the Parks Board, just to go over updating the playground equipment, updating some of the other stuff for the parks. So the other thing, and that was for the MML. So next thing, last month we met, we talked about, still have some of that parking issues on Wooten and Hughes Road, right at the townhouses. We took some video, got some more information. I believe we were going to send out
We
Go ahead.
sent out letters to the residents. We received two messages back. One was from a resident in support. The other was a resident who usually parks his commercial truck
Correct.
on the road. So he had some comments, but I also explained to him what we were looking at. So he's going to come on Wednesday and try to give his input, but also hear what you guys have to say as well.
That's fine. And we had talked about, there's a little green space across the street that were maybe, I guess, to the left of the last row of
Yeah, it's the
townhouses.
old Well One site, but that was another conversation about
Yeah.
parking options with that too.
So, and then I'll follow up next month, obviously, with what we talk about tomorrow. And then, I guess this is kind of Park Street, but last couple weeks ago, I had testified at the BOE relative to the turf field for the high school. It's all part of, colleagues of Fair Access, MCPS, county officials. I just think it's a great resource for not just the school, but for the town to use and the community. But obviously we're taking baby steps here until obviously we get money and continue to advocate for what I think is a huge resource for us. And then just the next Parks Board meeting is December 3rd, I think. So, and that's what I have.
Going to talk about the farmer sign?
Farmer sign. Yeah, we are, because we had talked about that
Yeah.
briefly. So,
Yeah. So we'll talk about that.
location. I want to pinpoint that. I know we were talking about Wayland's, but there was a couple others that,
There's a couple of discussion points about whether it be closer to town hall here or further out, or various different options. And Link is going to also testify at that meeting regarding the history of the sign and all of that. So they'll get a little background, and then we'll try and figure out what we want to prioritize in terms of the location.
Cool.
I hope we're still considering some sort of interactive monument of some sort with it.
So right now we just have the signs. So if there's something,
What I'm saying is, let's not put the sign in a place where that wouldn't work also.
right?
Right, something interactive, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, there's your input right there.
Yep.
There it is.
well, we'll have more detail on that.
Yeah. Once we go
days.
through the process, we can talk.
I'm sorry, just because I knew you were saying this would be something that is going to be on the agenda for the
Yes.
Parks Board
Yes,
next
oh, no, it is.
Yes, for
That's
Wednesday.
the only reason why I brought it
Yeah.
up. Didn't need the details. That's all.
That's okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Heading the public off of the pass so they can have a conversation
All
about
good.
it.
Yep.
It's good. I suggest like a rotating, so where the sign has like a motor and it just turns. Maybe a strobe light.
Weather vane, maybe? That would-
Yeah,
Weather vane is very appropriate. For,
big windmill in the middle of Whalen Commons or something like that.
Yeah.
Don't write about that, Link.
Strike that from the record.
record.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Alan, thank you for that. It was a good thorough report and spurred all kinds of good ideas from my report. So I appreciate
Perfect.
that.
I figured it would. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. That's why I asked you to go first. Okay. Gotcha. So Brian, can you help us out now with the Planning Commission?
Planning Commission met for a work session. We didn't hold a regular meeting in October. Reviewed Niall's draft of the Cultural Arts District and worked on some of the things we just kind of need to get hashed out to get that finalized. So we took another step forward, but
Let's see what she says.
every time we take a step forward, I keep wanting to say we're so close, we're so close, we're so close, but hopefully we can have another productive session and get even closer and have something actually to present. Because I've been saying we're close since I started almost a year ago now.
It's kind of like the plan was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So
Gotcha.
I don't know of any agenda items coming up.
So right now, that's the only thing we have for the meeting next week is just more of the cultural arts stuff. So we might do it, this is a discussion we can have about doing it as a regular meeting or a work session, but I figured since we didn't have a regular meeting last month, figured it made sense to at least do one. But we can have that discussion.
Whatever our planning commission chairperson would like to do,
Exactly.
I will support.
All right, sounds good.
I put you on the spot. Bretton Woods.
Yeah.
Close it down?
No.
Okay, good.
Not gonna happen.
I didn't think so either. I thought that was
Would
just.
you like me to give a 5-minute dissertation as to why it's not gonna happen?
If you want to do a 30-second one, I can go with that. If not,
I think the vision of people that want it to close is that it's a club that was created for staff's opulence, where really you're talking about World Bank, IMF, and other international organizations that pull people thousands of miles away from their home countries, and they have nowhere to go, and they're outsiders here. So they're all outsiders. So they gave them a place where outsiders could congregate and not feel like an outsider anymore. They also feel like the IMF is spending too much money, and it's not their money to be spending for a country club. The IMF has not put a dime in the Bretton Woods since 1990, and it won't again. If it fails, it fails. But it's not going to fail because they have the support of the community.
awesome.
Also, they think that the IMF is spending too much time managing it. The IMF has four voluntary board positions, and that's the amount of time that IMF spends. Wow. Yeah, and then they do it during lunch breaks a couple times a month, maybe.
So you're saying Bretton Woods has to hold its own in terms of investment, money, membership, et cetera.
Absolutely.
Well, I think I heard you say it's been holding its own since 1990.
It has. And so, and if anybody's ever been to Bretton Woods, it's nice.
It is
But
nice.
it is not opulent. It is not excessive. It is not Congressional or Columbia or any of these other historic. It's a very different. In fact, when you first drive in, you probably feel like it's more like a national park than anything else.
No, it's beautiful. It's a true asset for this area. There's no
And
doubt.
the amount of people that it employs local, the stepping stone is for kids looking for jobs in the summertime as they're going through school. It's just too valuable of an opportunity and too big of a thing to close down, and for no good reason.
It's not ballroom scale.
No,
Not intended to.
nope. So I think because when I was there, we would hear these issues come up from time to time, and somebody would some famous person would say, "Hey, you should close that white," or they'd run a piece in the New York Times about this opulent club. But as soon as they scratch the surface and realize that it's not what they think it is, it goes away because there's just no traction for it. And I think that's what we're going to see here.
Okay, good. Yeah, I thought that was absurd from the get-go. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. And didn't mean to put you on the spot, but
No, I
good
don't-
stuff.
yeah.
And let it be known to everybody that's out there, I will accept an invite for lunch at Bretton Woods anytime. I do like that place.
Phenomenal chef, yeah.
They do a good job there. So and definitely not opulent. So, Brian, thanks for the background on that. I really appreciate that. Sarah, are you still with us?
I am, but waiting to board, so I actually asked Link or Ed to do my report for me.
Okay, gotcha. So we'll go to Ed, and then Link can fill in the blanks. Is that okay?
Sounds great.
Thanks, Sarah.
I'll start off with Sustainable Poolesville, then I'll go into fair access. Link, if there's something I leave out, feel free to dive in. If you dive in, come up to the microphone. So when we look at Sustainable Poolesville, so we had met last Wednesday. A couple of things. Our November and December meetings, those are going to change so that we can continue to meet each month. So we're going to do, and Don should get back to you, but November 19th will be our November meeting. And then December 17th will be our December meeting. So we didn't want to meet the day before Thanksgiving. We didn't think anyone would show up. And same thing, we didn't want to meet right around Christmas Eve. So that's what it's going to be. Some of the other things is that our initiatives continue to do well. The Pick It Up Poolesville, we have a few more young kids. And so that's good. We have another volunteer so Erica does it on Sunday, early Sunday mornings. We have someone else who's picking it up on Saturday, so that's increased. We also are making sure that kids at the middle school and high school know that they can get SSL hours for participating in the Pick It Up Poolesville. Some of the other things with our zero waste, The batteries piece went very well, and so they did. I know there were. You want to say something else?
No,
See that
that-
excitement in you.
No,
couldn't
it was
mask
just
it.
a good turnout. Let's just put it that way. Some of those were, especially at the recycling event, we had a lot of people turn in batteries.
Right, and lesson learned for me, because I went with Erica to go drop them off at the transfer station, and we went to go drop them off. They stopped us and said, "Wait a minute, there's too many batteries for you guys to drop off. There's a fee for that." I said, "Well, how many can you take right now, and we'll just break it up and bring those in?" They said, because then they said they charge nonprofit organizations a fee to dispose the batteries, almost like a commercial plan. So what we'll wind up doing is scaling how much we'll drop off at a time, because it's definitely, I said, you just got a group of people who are looking to help the environment stay clean, and all they're doing is collecting some batteries and then dropping them off. So we'll
You couldn't drop them off, take lunch, come back for another load?
no, 'cause they're watching you, man.
Oh, I know they do. Transfer stations definitely.
Do you see this? You have one of these cards, right?
What's it say, Alan Hobbs on it?
No, it says it's your commissioner business card.
Yeah, they're quick.
Why wasn't that taken out and
I
like
tell
right
them I was
there?
commissioner from Poolesville. They said that's
Yeah.
not profit. They want to charge a fee. So nevertheless, collecting the batteries, that went well. But speaking of the shredding event,
I don't have a get out of jail free card.
Hey, I'll make sure here.
there's one. Get one that says Jim Brown on it. Say, this is the guy you're looking for.
Tell them to call me anytime.
Jim
But-
put on a little weight. Yep.
But the other piece, though, with the shredding event, one of the things that came up in our discussion is that if there was a way to do just the paper shredding twice a year instead of once a year, and if that's something that can be looked at to see, especially when people get out to do spring cleaning, if there's a way to kind of push that forward, ducktail it into one of the events, or if you do it like on a day before or a day after an event, if we're able to do the shredding. And so, other than that, that was sustainable. Oh, last thing. I know some time ago, a few months ago, I talked to you all about the HelpSee. We were looking at HelpSee as a textile recycling. So what we've learned from the thrift store, although they don't necessarily share a lot about it, what they do their own textile recycling. And so similar to what we looked at with HelpSee, because the thrift store really doesn't want HelpSee to come in, because any clothes that are not able to be recycled, then resold, what they'll do, they'll take that, and they have partners where they can sell those on the partner organizations. And there's a textile facility in Frederick that process it into raw materials, and then they'll send the thrift store some funding. So that was something that wasn't really well known. So one of our folks will talk to them about making sure that community members know not just clothes that are in decent condition that you want to get rid of, but also those things that are textiles that you might just throw away, because the whole interest in looking at HelpSee was to keep the textiles out of the trash. So that was a piece that came out of there. And so that's where we are with Sustainable Poolesville. And then when we get into the Fair Access Committee, a couple of things. I'm sure you already have this noted down, because Link will give you a third email reminder to RSVP that the holiday party is on December 7th. And when you get the fourth reminder, it wasn't for you, but you're on the list. So don't get upset with Link. All right, he's doing a great
I was
job.
on it already. I'm good.
Yeah, talking to Link, we already have about 20 people. We're sure we'll have more RSVP. Couple other things is that we're gaining a lot of positive traction on the bubble, the pool bubble, the community center, and addressing inequity issues on transportation. So there was a letter that we had sent out, and that letter is getting some response in terms of taking it more seriously, looking at the bus route as well as looking at some of the street conditions. And then on November 19th, the Baltimore Banner, some of you might have heard of the Baltimore Banner, so they're going to be coming out to Poolesville. Link will send us more information, but they'll be doing a listening series out here in Poolesville. Link, did I leave anything out? Nope. Okay, and so that's a no from Link. So That's what's happening with Fair Access Committee. A couple other things, just side notes. As Alan said earlier, we did go out to the Maryland Municipal League up in WISP, and so it was a good conference. One of the sessions, Alan and I went to a few sessions ourselves. Alan didn't tell you that in one session that he went to that I did not go to, that Alan was able to really share some of the examples that he does in terms of how do you conduct meetings and making sure everything is in order. And I think you.
I think I presented for 20 minutes. My bad. I just went off tangent a little bit, but it was. And what I did not to cut you off, Ed.
No, go ahead. I wanted to,
The feedback was good because we, as a town and a body, we have most of this stuff implemented versus other municipalities. Forums, agendas, the correct format, Robert's rule. I mean, there's all kinds of things that we do already that always surprises me when I go to these municipality or these MML conferences that feel confident about ourselves. So it's good.
right, and I wanted to point that out because when you go, sometimes you don't realize how good things are going in your own place because you just do what we do. But you look at some of the challenges that other municipalities have where they got to be told, hey, this is what you're supposed to do because not everyone is doing it. So I thought it was good, especially with him being in his first year, going through and be able to just go forward and share the things that we're doing. Some of the other sessions that I went to, one that I thought was pretty good is the Sister City one. And so you had a couple of different municipalities sharing how they have sister cities around the world, and then being able to get funding, not necessarily from their taxes here, but you have some organizations that want to look at building that relationship and look for what might be some opportunities. So Rockville has a nice one. There is Gaithersburg has something, as well as there's a gentleman from West Virginia and share what he does in Ireland. And so I thought that was pretty neat to look at that exchange and building those relationships. And then one of the things that they shared was just comparing challenges that municipality leaders have in their municipality and comparing it to what might be some of the challenges that we would have, and just sharing information to give you a world perspective. So I thought that was a pretty good session. Another one I went to was risk management, and really taking a good look as when we're doing our different events and making sure that we're always prepared for any type of emergencies to mitigate risk. So other than that, that was our Maryland Municipal League. Last thing I want to share is some calls that I've received is concerns with some of our young people. And I think, Alan, you might have brought this up at our last meeting, but with the bike riding and the scooters. But what was brought to me, they said, hey, can you share this at your next meeting, was the young kids who have the AirPods in their, the earbuds, no helmets, and that is getting dark. And so it was really hard to see them. And one person shared that she had almost hit a kid who couldn't hear, was out there doing all these little tricks and things with the bike, but no helmet, and it's just the fear of the danger.
There was one actually a skateboarder. Same thing the other night. It was dark, and right down the middle of the street. Black clothes, black shoes, earbuds in. But you just got to be careful, Poolesville. We have sidewalks, but just be conscious. You see a car coming, just, safety first.
Right. And I'm wondering if we could maybe put out a PSA and even tie it into the daylight savings with the getting darker and the hours, kids are still out and about, for parents to talk with their kids about being careful. All right, back to you there, Jim.
Wow, that was amazing. Okay, good. Link, did we miss anything? I think the only thing that we probably have that we've talked about, there's one other item that we're missing that we've got going on. I can't remember what it is. I thought about halfway through Ed's thing, and then I got on to something else.
The Washington Post article.
Yeah, Washington Post article. You can, Link, come on up. Let's just have a quick conversation. Washington Post article, and then it'll come to me what the other thing is that we're doing that we've had discussions about.
Yeah, there is Dana Monroe, the Washington Post reporter. She actually did an article on White's Ferry, and unfortunately, the editors have decided not to publish it. Which, now that the Banner article came out, it probably is not that important. But she's also doing a very in-depth article because of our. She came to our breakfast and she saw the inequities panel is doing one on public transportation. She's talked directly to the DOT, and they have gotten our letter, and they're actually considering it. The OMB in the office of the county executive's office is looking at financing and funding and how they do some of the things we recommended. So, yeah, I think that's looking very positive. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else, Jim, that we,
It'll hit me, because I'll start rambling here, and then it'll come back, or maybe it'll come back to you.
Oh,
too, but-
at the next meeting, our next meeting is the second Thursday in November. One of the things we'll have on our agenda is that the at-large candidacies and the county executive debates are really heating up. And if we don't really get our oar in the water and say we want to do a debate sometime, probably April is what we're thinking about, then we're probably not going to get them to come out here. And I really want to have those debates. So, and it's looking more and more like we may even have a congressional debate we'll have to have too, potentially. It's not clear yet, but it looks like April may have a primary candidate. So if she does, we'll have to have her out here. So,
Okay, yeah, those are good ones. That's not the one I thought of, but those are all good.
yeah, I can't remember anything
Well,
else.
we'll hit it up. There's something that we've been dealing with. I know it's going to hit me in a minute. I just searched my phone too, and it didn't pop up.
Oh,
so-
is it the piece of looking for, encouraging folks to sign up for some of the up-county
Well, that
yeah.
too, and also too, we still need fair access members, right?
Oh, yeah, we've got one person that I've gotten a resume for, that's it, so far. And I frankly, ranking my brain, I can't think of a person myself, so,
Oh, we just got to keep advertising. We need one spot, right?
just one.
Just one spot. And
Adam
we're gonna-
Soroka's not coming back, so.
Right.
We're going to send out another reminder on that this week. So that was sort of, we talked about that over the weekend, so.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, well, we'll see what else pops
Okay.
up here. All right, thanks, Ed and Sarah, the guys. I just got a few things, too, that this is all peripheral, and town manager's report's going to cover a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about here, too. And, of course, I just made me laugh, this whole sister city thing. I made a tour through Europe, and I think I named like 9 sister cities while I was there, doing various events, and only one came back to us and actually called. And wanted to know, what was the process to be an official sister city to Poolesville. And I think it was Maggie that answered the phone. She's like, somebody with a really thick accent wants to talk to you. I'm like, I'm out. I don't remember that. Great article in the Monocle about the solar output. You saw that Doug Boucher wrote this. Good piece. And all you have to do is Google Poolesville solar, and you will 2 clicks, and you're into our solar array, and you're getting to see what's going on. We're getting ready to celebrate the 13th anniversary of us installing it, which means only another 7 years after that before we're getting everything's free. They're still performing at really super high rate. Yes, there's new solar panels that are being made, but still, the ones that we did, first municipality in Maryland, one of the first on the in Montgomery County, first in the Eastern Seaboard, still producing. I remember all the negotiations for all that like it was yesterday. That was some pretty tough stuff going on. But we did get it done, and it's been rock solid for us. As far as I'm concerned, I hope staff feels the same way. Quiet, silent, still doing its thing. Every once in a while, the sheep come in and take care of business. Anyway, that article's in the Monocle. So asked Commanders Satinsky for increased coverage after some outrage on Facebook about people running the stop sign, same old that we get there. They were there both Friday night and Saturday night this past time. Lights on, slowed down traffic. Good job. I even talked to Alex Markoff, and he was appreciative. And they're working on some initiatives, too, that'll help transfer people from the haunted forest back through. They are doing their Christmas town, so we're going to have another run of it, but it's only for 2 weekends. So that's going to be coming up in December. And those dates, there's already flyers out on it. But was it the Rosenball sign? No, but you could be, yeah. So right. So we thanks for that, Lincoln. I'll just jump right in on it. So, in addition to the farmer's sign, obviously we've through Historic Medley, Town of Poolesville, we commissioned the creation of a very very solid steel. I think they said it's like 200 and something pounds.
The two combined were 540 pounds.
Thank you for that. Really? Right, the 2 signs combined. Right, so they're unbelievable. They're made to last.
Yes.
We actually have been trying to let Historic Medley run with it as best they can, but and they do many things very well. But our goal is to make sure that it doesn't get bogged down, that it does get installed. Initially, we were going to entrust our town guys to install it because that's how we know it's going to be done right. But the county has like kind of not out of the blue, but they've asked they've said they're the ones that have to install it. So we're going to let them go through the process, and hopefully we're not standing out there by the beauty spot on January 15th with a 30-mile-an-hour wind and 30 degrees. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know how concrete sets when that happens, but we'll find out. But yes, thanks for the reminder on that. That still wasn't it. We'll see when we get to it. So anyway, again, just to go back to it, Commander Sostinsky, very responsive, doing the job that we need to do. I hope the residents know, and then, I talk about this on Facebook and various places. If we need something, we reach out, they respond. So we can't help it if they have manpower shortages. That's something else. But the guys are doing a good job of being responsive so far as I'm concerned. And I also, like all of our beat officers, are very aware of everything that goes on here. So I think we're getting good coverage. I know it's not where everybody wants it to be. Curb dumping. That was something that you guys probably saw me post on during this week, getting into arguments with people about where you can just throw your crap out on the side of the road and expect people to pick it up. And so it's been an unofficial way of doing it. You can put it in your yard and have some notify people, and people will potentially come get it, and then that's it. You don't necessarily leave it out there. Of course, you don't let it get weathered. Well, we had furniture that landed on a street corner. Nobody could tell whose furniture it was. It just landed there. And that follows a spate of junk and furniture being left on street corners, especially even though, we talked about this today, it's at the Kohlhaas subdivision, there's an HOA that's responsible for those parcels. But at the same time, it's still trash in our town that's being dumped. So we're going to be talking about this a little bit more, and which will be a lead into more attorney discussions here during the town manager's report. But we're going to embark on something that's a little stronger, that gives us a little more muscle about making sure that it's just, it's awareness is a big part of it too, but just, you can't take your furniture and just dump it out there. The trails, it was asked, people have hit us up, and we talked about the staff today about, the continuation right off the bat. As soon as we put asphalt in front of the new subdivision here, that there were people calling, is that going to be the end product? Is that what that's going to look like? So we confirmed today that is what it looks like, but at the same time, we're going to be kicking it over to you guys at the parks to have further conversations about what that looks like. It's a trail, and so we want it to be usable as a trail. And we also think about
It's a wide trail.
Yeah, it's a wide trail, and is it a pervious surface, or does it
8-foot asphalt.
8-foot? So it doesn't have to be pervious surface. Okay.
There will be parts of it that will be pervious when it goes
Or
further
parking
up
areas.
around the parking area and up around the community.
Okay. I mean, that's a big deal too. We have to make sure we're doing that right. Okay, well, thanks. Anyway, that's just going to land back in your all's laps for further conversations about that. It is going to be beautiful up there when they get done. White picket fence, right? Mm-hmm. You weren't just kidding when we were talking about that today. That was real.
I literally
Yeah.
applied a permit today for it.
Okay, good. Privacy, was it a big privacy fence? No. Can't see the houses. Okay, but we're...
Different styles.
Oh, different, right. Typical Poolesville situation, right. 8 different styles of fences in front. Okay, very good. So back to electric bikes, and this is a growing trend. This is a nationwide thing going on. Electric bikes, dangerous, fast, unregulated. And even in Poolesville's world, because I see these guys and I talk to them, they're hopped up. I saw one guy had 2 electric motors on his bike. So that's twice as fast. And so eventually we're going to have a conversation about how that takes place. I know it's Montgomery County, right? This is their law, not ours to enforce. But electric bikes, golf carts that are not legal, these are things that eventually we're going to have to kind of have a conversation about. Not today, not even this year, but it's something that I think we need to keep an eye on. So really funny, I'm interviewing people to talk about 2 really, really nice people that are school teachers. And they're moving to Poolesville, and they want our magic. And they follow my social media, and they're like, so, hanging out with the boss, huh? I was like, the boss. And they're like, yeah, Dr. Taylor. And they said, yeah, you saw that. And he was he actually cooking at your football game? I'm like, I think he was prepping, right? He wasn't actually cooking.
I was prepping.
He was prepping. They said, but the moral of this whole entire story is, like, they said, we really like him, and we really support him, and they're really excited about the positive changes he's bringing to Montgomery County. So, talk about being off on the right foot. That's 2 20-year school teachers that could probably be pretty tough customers, and they like what he's doing. So that was good to see. And of course, thank you, Grill Team, and Link and our dedication that we had that night, and our future dedication for Coach Swick for bringing them up there. They're obviously very comfortable. Dr. Sullivan, very comfortable too. So these guys are very important and part of building that profile, just like Will was going to do here tonight. To clarify on the shred, Ed, that's paid for by a certain company that works in this area, and we shredded 1/3 more than we've ever shredded this year. So the people kept coming, and I was actually worried that we were going to fill up the truck because as soon as somebody pulls out, then there's 2 more people that pull in, and they got a lot of stuff to shred. So it probably is a good idea to have two shredding events a year, because it really did. They were lined up this time. Good times with that. So, and thanks to Tara for getting that all that organized. And then MML, is it something, recommendation from you, the guys that have attended? Is that something that we should place a bigger priority on this session of MML versus summer session MML? I mean, I don't want to be jaded, but I've been to a lot of the summer ones, and various times, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, whatever. But what do you think about that? I wanted to ask the guys that attended.
I don't know. I mean, I learned how to use both of them. I mean, learn different sessions, different classes. You get a chance from June, or for me, chance from June to October to forge those relationships even more. And then I can give them feedback on, what we experience. But again, I don't know. I mean, summer was nice. Fall was good. It's pretty comfortable, by the lake versus by the beach. A lot more traffic, but, this one was only 3 days compared to, 4 days, 3.5 days in Ocean City.
Yeah, basically.
But at least we're efficient. We divide and conquer where we need to, and then we always sit up front and the other ones together. And, we do, most of our commissioners definitely speak during sessions with questions or, comments or whatever. So, I mean, a lot of them just sit there and you see the same people go in and out every session. They don't say a thing. They sit in the back and, don't even take notes. They're on their phone. And,
Right.
but this one, I think there was a little bit more interaction with the teachers or the instructors than Ocean City.
Well, I think even at the Ocean City one, we took time. I know, Niles, you and I were, and I think it's just part of a culture that we bring, that no matter who's in the room, we're going to go talk, we're going to meet who's up front, we're going to meet those who are presenting, we're going to start building those relationships, whether it's in the parking lot, talking to cybersecurity people, or whether it's those people who are messing with ops, but that's what we do. Go out, network, because you never know. Sometimes you're just 1 or 2 people away from a resource that you might not need at the moment, but that you might need later on. One of the takeaways that I think that was good from the summer is being able to, when we walked around the vendors, and so you had the folks representing Brooke Liederman's group, and being able to have an honest conversation. Alan took the lead on it, having that honest conversation about concerns about where money's going and how it goes. Then you plant that seed. Then there's that follow-up, right? So I think it's just a matter of, so to answer your question, I see value in both. The fall is a little smaller, but it's really is all about what you get in out, what you put into it will determine what you get out of it.
How about was there a vendor mix there too, or
The vendor mix was small in the fall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
And we should propose a yurt. It's a new term that I used while we were up there. The little bungalows for all the skiers when it's cold. They're called yurts. Yurts. Yep.
Yurts.
So
Yeah.
had a couple classes in there.
They did have yurts.
Oh yeah,
They
I
had
had
classes than
everyone
yurts.
had like 6 or 8. It was a lot. So
Was there a big fire in the middle? You guys hold hands and
No, we
was there a
enjoyed
no
chant, or-
kumbaya. No.
What,
Yeah.
I don't know.
They have forced air units. So
oh, there were
Yes.
there's many
They've
spots up there somewhere.
Yeah.
Moving the air around. Okay, got it.
But but the other thing is, we see our fellow leaders, Mayor Ashton, Judd. Jim was up there. There's there's always somebody up there. Jason Buckwell, I'll talk to again for a while. But it's good to go out, and we have the luxury of having the relationships with the county council members and our state representatives. When you talk to some of the other senators doing some of the classes, and they ask you, what district you're in, and obviously most of them are very fond of Brian Feldman and, and Linda and all them. So we are unique to have those relationships because most of the municipalities are like, how do you even know all these people? And I'm like, well, it's been a year, but again,
Yeah.
I don't know. I learn every class. We've forged a pretty good relationship with, Mayor Morris up in Cumberland, and, we're open for whatever we ever get a date to go up and just check out.
Let's set it up. I would love to make that trip.
We can make a
That'd be
trip
great.
up, throw everybody in a couple cars, or we'll probably use Niles' car so we can all fit.
True clown car then. Yeah, clown car. They're still coming out. They're coming out, right?
So anyhow, no, I think both of them are great. But it's it's a good question, Jim. I have to think.
Well, we just as part of the, obviously we started Fair Access. We've had a lot of success with getting to know, forging these relationships. 10 years ago, guys, we didn't do this, so
Right.
we were just we had to change the paradigm, and just wondering if that's a continual, if that effort needs to be made to go into that fall networking scheme with these guys. And it's different than the networking scheme that we're used to. Like you guys just did the Marilyn Balcom fundraiser. Yep. We all have good relationships with our D15 plus our council members, and I think everybody here is a known entity to almost all of Montgomery County Council. But I love the idea of having better interaction with, and I've done this to some degree with the guys out there, but not to the degree that maybe you guys have already with our fellow mayors and council members, et cetera. So it's important. I mean, I seem to get together with like the Middletown guys and the Frederick County guys when I'm, doing MML or at some other event. But really, we have no avenue to have those interactions with the council members from right outside of Montgomery County because, after that, we're focused on our delegation. That has nothing to do with them. We're focused on our council members. They don't know anything about that. I couldn't even tell you who the Frederick County Council members are for the most part. I mean, I know who the mayor is and the probably the head council member, but beyond that, we don't know anything about that. And they know all about all those things. Right. So, and how they interact with them is something that we probably can learn from as time goes on too.
And here's the other piece too, is that while there might not be an issue that we're dealing with now, but the more relationships and genuine friendships that we build with other municipalities beyond just Montgomery County, that there might come that time where we have an issue that they've already dealt with, and then being able to pick up the phone and get some advice. And so when I was in the risk management session, and they talked about one municipality where they had a parade, and then someone had left an iron or something, and it caused a fire. So here it is, they're in the middle of the parade, and someone's saying, there's smoke. No, really, there's smoke, and the fire trucks had to break the parade, go deal with the fire, and you had massive damage. But then the mayor, from going through these MLL things, was able to call a few other mayors, and they were able to get a lot of support that they needed in the town. And they were able to mobilize support faster than what they would have been able to mobilize just in their town by picking up the phone because of the relationship. So I always think those relationships that are cultivated with sincerity can carry a lot of power, and you might not need it right away, but when you need it, you got it. And I think that's really important.
And going back to the effective
good.
classes, we are pretty good on sticking with our schedule. There's a lot of municipalities have 5 and 6 hour commissioner meetings once a week. So that's a lot. But again, they have a little bit bigger population of residents that come out more, but they stray away from what's on the agenda. And, again, it's admirable for, my fellow colleagues to stick with what we have, give our reports, and they can always reach out, text and email, or phone.
Right, yeah, and we're a little free-form tonight, so I
Yes,
know
I know,
kind of what we're
so-
talking about. But I get it. I totally get it. Well, we definitely have to keep our discipline for that, too, so that makes sense. All right, anything else on that, guys? That was really good. Thank you for that wrap-up. I was thinking about that ever since you've been talking about what's happening. Town staff, are you still awake over there?
We're good.
Is this thing on? Come on. All right, very good. So, guys, thanks for all that. Appreciate that. Public comment. It's only Link here. Is there anybody online?
No.
No, Link, anything for you? I remember what it was. It was we're having the discussion with the Damascus community members. So yeah, so Damascus wants to learn a little more about fair access magic. So we're gonna try and figure out a way to help them out to do things they need to do to advocate. So that was the one I was thinking of. Yep, that's good. They could use it. All right, approval of the minutes. We have the minutes from October 6, 2025. If someone wants to make a motion.
A motion, we approve.
Motion by Ed, second.
I'll do it.
Second by Brian, just because he was closer. And then, I'm not sure, Sarah, are you still online? Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
Wow, okay. Still haven't boarded yet? Or are you actually flying
Yeah.
over somewhere right now?
No. There's a little bit of delay, but yeah.
Oh, God,
Okay.
sorry about that. Okay, so we have a motion made by Ed, second by Brian. All in favor of approving the minutes for October 6, 2025, please say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Any nays? Nope, minutes have been approved unanimously. Old business, Flag Design Committee. I know we're going to kick this over to Niles. Niles?
So, since the last meeting, of course, we issued the call for volunteers. We've received 7 applications for the Flag Design Committee. And so we have Dorothy Ballman, Judy McKinney, Sarah Lamana, Tom Kettler, Valerie Dickerson, Annette Howard, and Erin Gang. And so one of the things for tonight is approving the committee so that we could get started. I just want to note a couple of things of what we sort of told people. One, we did all of the different design elements that we talked about last time. We put that in, and we also did a link to the good flag, bad flag, so that the committee members could have a sense of it. The goal, the role of the committee, as we discussed, was attending regular meetings to discuss design and concept, collaborating with other committee members to develop flag designs, presenting design proposals, and incorporating feedback, ensuring that the standards are met as laid out by NAVA. And then the goal was to have a new flag for Poolesville by 2026. So that was sort of what we presented to the committee and then the committee members. I figured we could do that part first, and then I can talk about the themes that you guys sent in.
Good. I totally agree. That's because that's what we talked about.
Yes.
No, that sounds great, Niles, and that sounds like a really nice, robust group of concerned citizens from all walks of life. So that's fantastic. I like that mix. So tonight we have to
Make a motion to,
make an official motion on there. We just have to have a consensus.
No, you should have an official motion.
yeah.
Okay. Sorry to challenge your constitutional knowledge there, Niles, right off the bat, but it was good.
Yeah.
All right. So the list of names again.
So Dorothy Ballman, Judy McKinney, Sarah Lamnana, Thomas Kettler, Valerie Dickerson, Annette Howard, and Erin Gang.
Okay, great. So Niles has named the slate of our initial flag design, redesign committee. Would someone like to make a motion to approve that slate?
I'd like to actually ask a question. I thought the guidance we were talking about that you guys had seen in the event that you went to, or the class that you took, was to have a smaller size.
So that was not something specific. You guys had discussed having a smaller versus bigger. It's varied from the various communities. One had, I think, 9, another had 7, one had 5, I think. So
And we're at, how many names are those?
7.
There's 7 there.
7.
We did talk about making it smaller. I think that was just amongst us talking, but
Yes.
Niles is the one in charge of them, so I have full confidence. that he's got it.
I really only said that to give Niles a chance to say, yes, I'd rather have 5.
I'm fine with the group as is and having that many. I don't think that's.
And also too, we have could someone please make a motion, because I want to get into discussion. Make a motion to approve that group of,
I'll make a motion to approve this slate of candidates.
anybody make a second?
I'll make,
Go ahead, Alan.
Second from Alan.
I'll make a second.
Okay, good. So now it's open for further discussion on that. So Niles, I just want to make sure, we have a deadline, and we want to make sure that the group is fully functional. So I'm okay. I'll probably vote in favor of approving the slate of 7. But if things aren't moving along and it feels like it's too unwieldy, can you come back to us and let us know, like even on a meeting by meeting basis, if you feel like it's cutting loose a little bit? Because with that group, which sounds like I said, an incredibly diverse group for Poolesville, we'll hear a lot of opinions.
Yeah.
And
It's a
so,
strong group. I'm looking at the people.
yeah, it's a strong group. So, and there's leaders in there, and there's people that are used to doing things their way, which is good. We want them to be able to express themselves. So, if you guys have concerns about that beyond what I just said, feel free. We're in the discussion phase. I know we did talk about a smaller group, but I'm happy with the group that they came up with.
I would say I have a concern about it too, but only to your level of concern.
Yeah, I think
Not
this.
bothered by it. I'm good with it.
Yeah, I think that this is something we can work out with, and it also allows for us to continue work if people are missing for time and things like that. And so I think that having that group allows for that kind of flexibility within it as well. So I think that's fine with me.
Is there an objection from the group for me being just the liaison for that group? I will not be interfering or interjecting, but I just kind of want to listen in, if that's okay, and I can report back to the commissioners.
I don't have an objection.
I like that.
Because I'm going to be standing in the.
Like the hesitation. What was that? What was your?
No, I was going to say, I don't have an objection.
Come back to me.
Yep.
Well, yeah. I mean, I will only say that is there a reason why the president of the board of the commissioners isn't already a liaison to another committee? And would that apply to this? If there's a reason.
No official reason. We just do this because of of the other duties that I have to take care of. So no, there is no official reason why I'm not a liaison somewhere else, or the office isn't a liaison.
I'm concerned about somebody reading your reaction.
That's legit. Okay, then that's fine. I'll let Niles report back. I don't need to be there for that.
I'm also fine revisiting it later.
Okay, good. I'm fine with that too. I got enough to do. You guys can do it. So, all right. So we had a motion and a second. More discussion on this. Anything else to be had? No. Okay. All in favor of the motion to appoint the 7 community members that, as Niles has described, to our nascent flag redesign committee. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Alan, did I use?
Yes, said aye.
Okay,
Yes.
Gotcha. All right, I was listening. Any nays? None? All right, that's a unanimous approval. Niles, Godspeed, sir. Good luck with that. Thank you.
Stay strong.
Did you want us to go over, or do you want me to just take to them the themes that you guys all brought in? Do you want me to briefly talk? They're very consistent, is the main thing.
I don't think we need to do that again unless you guys want to hear it again.
No.
No. Okay.
I'm more
Sarah?
interested in the updates after your first meeting.
Of course. And I will be, just because this was a question that was asked, I'll be emailing all of the candidates and letting them know in the morning, and we'll set up a meeting. Hopefully before the holidays. We're going to try to work out one meeting before the holidays, and then continue our conversations earlier. So
How often will the meetings be?
So I think that's one of the things that will determine. I'm thinking, at least, probably once a month, at the very least, maybe more often, depending on how quickly things go or how much time we want. I know we met when we did the Trails Working Group. It was something along those lines of either 3 weeks or 4 weeks. And so I'm thinking of doing it in the same way that we did that. And that was the way that I was kind of thinking.
Good enough. Is that it? Anything
That's
else?
it. That's all.
Anything
Yeah.
else? Ed, Sarah, anything else on the flag redesign committee issue?
No,
Okay.
no concerns. I mean, in my mind, I'm like, I want it to represent everyone, and I want it to be a really diverse committee, but also I want it to be efficient and move forward. So, I think we should just move forward and make adjustments if needed as we go forward.
Start lobbying those group members. Now you know who they are.
I'm going to stop by 3 of those houses tonight.
All right, commissioners, I don't even want to hear any of that stuff. You guys do what you feel is the best thing to do, to be in the community. All right, so thank you guys for signing off on that. Appreciate the preparation. Good advertising. Glad we got the group that we have. That's awesome. New business, Verizon cell tower lease, Wade, right?
Yes, yes. So we have received a notification from SmartLink, who represents all different types of cell companies, but right now they're representing Verizon, and they're trying to negotiate the lease agreement down by about $1,000 a month. And they say that they have possibly, it's too high of a rate they're paying, and that they have a potential other location they might be able to move to, which we all kind of know. This is kind of desolate out here. You can't build things in the ag reserve. So, when I read this, like, okay, these guys are just making stuff
Negotiating.
up. So I Googled SmartLink to see what they were. I heard it before. They've worked on the tower when we moved the cell antennas off for the painting and everything. First thing it says is they negotiate on behalf of the cellular companies in the exact same language that they sent in our letter. So it was like a boilerplate letter they sent out to us. Regardless of that, this has to come before you guys because you have the authority to negotiate a contract or not. We have 3 cellular carriers on there, and I did put together a memo that shows that Verizon is $4,987 a month, AT&T is $4,284 a month, and T-Mobile is $5,080 per month. And just knowing that SmartLink works for all of them, and they get paid when they negotiate. As soon as one's successful, they're going to come back to the other 2 also. So, Jim and I sat down and talked about this. Part of the original lease that was signed in 1995 requires them 6 months in advance of a renewal, which the period is getting ready to end. They need to say that either they want to terminate or they want to renew. Verizon sent out a letter earlier this year in May saying they wanted to renew for another 5 years. So we have that in hand already. Now, SmartLink is saying we may not renew. They've already obligated it contractually. There are other avenues for them to terminate their contract, 3 months notice. They have 90 days to get their equipment off of the ground as well as off the tower, and they have to pay a full 1-year rent, even though they're not on it. So that there's potential that they actually could do that if they wanted to, and that would be the avenue for them to do it. But as with Jim and I talked about it, we think at this point we just send them back a reply and let them know that we received this notification already from Verizon before they hired you on to negotiate it. They wanted to renew it already, and the best course of action would be just to stay the course for the next 5 years, and potentially in 2029 we can start, or 2028, whichever they want to come back with, and negotiate the terms at that point. So it's kind of kicking the ball, down the road, but.
Yeah, but we have an existing lease right now that makes sense, and it was negotiated as well. And we also know the fall off from the other potential carriers, and they're, if obviously, these guys are going to be negotiating with them. So we just, Wade rightly pointed out, this is the time to just, we've done this. We have a very good lease in hand. It's a fair lease for everybody. We've also worked our butts off to make sure that Verizon was covered when we redid our water tower, and that their service wasn't interrupted. So we get the boilerplate letter. It's probably boilerplate plus, but we just want to be good stewards for the town and continue our agreement that we've agreed to, and let them open it back up during the time frame that that they can open it back up in terms of trying to reopen the lease. So, who knows? Maybe it'll be worth more then versus less.
Right, and they may come back and counter. Who knows?
Yeah.
But we're not really taking an action.
Yeah, we have a static position, and
agree.
we'll let them react to the static position. So I appreciate it, and all the background Wade put into this was really good, helpful to understand, because we did all this, and we've done all this several times already. And there's always a little bit of hubbub between some of these carriers, and without nobody's trying to rub it in that we're the only game in town, but Wade's absolutely right. I mean, the municipality of Poolesville is essentially the only place they can put one.
Correct.
So they gotta deal with it, and we gotta be fair. Anyway, do we have to take a direction beyond the,
Consensus on this, because really it's a no action, so.
and open for more discussion, you guys? Happy to talk about it further?
No, it's pretty clear.
I mean, it's laid out. Sorry.
It's clear. It's clear, cut and dry, and then the time to do it is a few years from now, not right now.
And our cell tower revenue is important.
It is. I
It's
just worked the
valuable.
numbers. It's very important.
Yeah, district goes right to the water and sewer rates.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, it's a stretch for people to understand that it could directly affect our residents without those leases in place in terms of what they're paying for the services we provide. So,
Yep.
and that's the benefit. Whatever I mean, I hate the way the cell towers block our graphics on the water tower, but I drive by other places that have a water tower that don't have one single cell
Yep.
piece on it. I think to myself, someone is just not pursuing the revenue, or they're not a municipality, so they can't do the negotiation on it.
And where's our next tower?
What's that?
Where's the next cell tower carrier?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
EW, General
Well,
Store,
That one repeats off of Leesburg.
Leesburg.
Yeah.
Okay, so it goes across. Okay.
Yeah, never mind. I don't want to say anything more than what we've already said. So, okay, guys. So, do we have we can talk about it offline. Do we have a consensus from the group? Is everyone okay with that strategy?
I'm okay with it.
As of now. Sarah, you okay?
Yep, I'm okay.
Okay.
And I'm okay.
Good plan.
Great. All right. So the commissioners unanimously have a consensus towards that direction. Wade, and you'll keep us informed of what the reaction is.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Are you ready to jump into town manager's report? I saw you furiously writing down our decision there.
Okay, so yes, we are ready. Last week, we completed the 1 million gallon tank washout inspection. We had a company come in that we met at MML last year, and we signed up for it, and they came out and did it. Everything turned out fine with the tank, and it's filled back up with water again. So that tank is actually up at Woods of Tama, 1 million gallon standpipe
Okay.
comes up.
And we did, so we strategically drained it, used it, the water that's in it. It wasn't like it was dumped. And then undertook that process.
Yeah, it takes about 3 days to drain it down because you can let it drop somewhat, because this one here drops the same way. Shut the valves down, fill this one back up, turn booster pumps on, transfer it over until you get down, pretty low, and then you have to dump the last 10 feet or so. But filling it back up is the same way. Do a little,
And when's the next time we have to do that for that one?
about every 10 years.
Yeah, okay. Right, got it. Thank you.
Contractor's been working on doing road patches and concrete work all over town. Finished up the Tom Fox intersection areas. We still have one side of Tom Fox that we're working on a design, because there's some power lines and different stuff in place. Allen's Corner, we'll call it.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, you're good.
But on top of that, again, thank you for taking that little pass through on that far island over by my house. A lot of people don't want to walk around it and kind of go into the street if somebody's coming down, and I've gotten a couple compliments.
What specifically did you guys,
So we mirrored the pass through, or I don't even know, I guess you would call them a pass
The
through.
walkway, but through the
A median.
island.
oh, okay,
You know how
right.
you could cut through, like a pedestrian walk through.
Are you talking, and the one by his house?
Yes.
His house, all the way to the edge
Tom
of
Fox and, Tom
Yep.
Fox and Hughes,
At the very end near the middle school.
right.
So if you go to the end, we walked it when we were doing the trail stuff. There's that part where there wasn't a cut through to go through. So if you wanted to walk or had a stroller, you had to go around
Yep.
the island and then through. So we
Right.
just cut it through.
And put a sidewalk in there, basically?
Basically.
6 foot section, something like that. All
Little yellow bumpy pad.
Yeah, it has the bump, yeah.
Right, gotcha. Cool.
right. Sorry, Wade. That went further than I wanted to.
It's good. I didn't even know about it, so got it. Good. Thank you.
And then Alan was talking about the Preston's guys. Yes, it takes about 3 weeks to get all the lights up for the holiday lighting ceremony, which is December 5th. Yep.
6:45 again for tree lighting.
Yeah, it'll be the same timing as last year. So.
Good. They'll be on for the fair access party, which is great. So all the electeds and dignitaries can come see the town lit up. So that's awesome. Good.
Next meeting, November 17th, we're looking at having a closed session at 6:15 for an attorney interview. So hope everybody can make that one.
Which date was that?
The next meeting, the Monday, the 17th.
Okay.
See the cameras?
Yes. So we had a discussion earlier, actually going back to MML again, of one of the legislative priorities that MML got put through was to allow municipalities without a police force to be able to have speed cameras and to get the revenue from speed cameras. So I did a quick little look into what the law says in certain things. So the main few things for our purposes is we would have to have either an employee or a contractor be the technician to review potential citations. But the training required for it would only be the vendor training. Basically, we hired somebody to install them. They would train whoever is going to look at the footage on how to use it, and that is sufficient for us to do it. So that's one part of it. To actually have a speed camera, you have to advertise the location, you have to have a public hearing on that location, and it has to go through sort of a formal process to be approved. And then you have to have signage before the speed camera saying that there's a speed camera ahead and so on. So there's some sort of specific things we can do. We get the revenue except for in the case of if somebody contests it and it goes to court, then they still uphold the fine, the court gets the money in that case. So that's one thing to note. And also, if the revenue from the speed camera is greater than 10% of our general fund revenue, then the excess over 10% goes to the
back,
state.
of course.
So, so that's just a couple of the things to note there. And then we also talked about, obviously, with the change in the fines, so there's now a gradient in how much you get charged with the fines. So that's part of the impetus of looking at this again is also there's greater revenue potentially to be had there based on how much people speed. Those were sort of the main highlights. I have some more detail in here, but if you have any questions.
No, that sounds good. No questions. I just would hope that we're looking for areas that we want to slow down traffic.
Well,
and not necessarily looking to build speed cameras to get revenue.
right, and so that's the other part, which is that for the most part in the reviews and the speed studies that we've done over the 3 years I've been here, we haven't seen that significant amount of speeding. There's been some speeding. So there has been cases where we've recorded people going 70 miles per hour in the middle of the night on some of our streets, but we haven't had a constant problem of people really going more than 5 or 7 miles over the speed limit. So that's the other thing to consider. If we want to do something like this, then I think the question is, do we have a real, as you said, a real need versus, trying to catch the outliers and think of it that way.
I do think our speed signs
Yes.
that collects the data
Yep.
are such a deterrent. Because sometimes when I come in 28, I even feel guilty,
Yeah, right.
You
But-
realize the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
and I think it started from outside on Elgin
Yep.
and then in town, so.
Gotcha. Very good. That's, it wasn't a motorcycle that it was doing that speed, was it, at night?
I don't believe so, although I do know in one instance there was a
Really?
motorcycle.
Did the,
Old Bonneville, maybe?
right, did the rider was he covering up the license plate with his hand?
Yellow helmet.
He didn't even have a license plate.
Don't know anything about it, but yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Very
Okay.
good.
Talk with the pool bubble for a moment. We're going through the process of getting the paperwork in and everything to secure that. And two things came up was the an insurance certificate that puts the town as a signer on the county property. And so and having an agreement with the county. So we sent it over to Marilyn Balcom's office, and they replied back and said, "This is not our jurisdiction. This is the county executive's jurisdiction." So they sent it to the county attorney and to the executive office, and
Okay.
they have it right now. It's been 2 weeks. Not heard anything back yet. So
So you'll hit him up again?
hit him up again, and then we're going to contact Senator Feldman too and see if he proposed it and
Sure.
let him know where we are with this. And
Yeah, I mean, we're anticipating this next session getting another slug of money from the state. This is going to get real. So this is a good way for the county executive's office to have to deal with it. So it's kind of funny that it recreation falls under the county executive's office or
anything to do
buildings
with the
maybe.
property because
Yeah.
they own the property, I guess, or
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
Good.
working through that.
Thank you.
And then For our next meetings in December also, right now, we put together the bid package. I talked about it last time for the westerly water lines, and we have a bond council waiting for the MDE to, so what we have to do in December is go ahead and award a contract to the bids when they're going to be opened by the end of November. So December 8th is the best time for us to be able to review them, make sure and come with a recommendation to the commissioners to award it, then we can get it to the state. Then the state can work with bond council and close the loan probably in early spring, they said. So we're looking just to do one meeting in December, most likely, but the 8th would be the better day to do that if everybody's good with that.
Everybody can be in town, or that we know of, or close to it, at least?
That works for me.
Thanks, Sarah. Yeah, so this is strategic, guys. So the first meeting may not have much to do. We are going to have another November meeting, and then the second meeting will be pretty close to the holidays. So the compromise was to meet in the middle and hold one meeting. John says he'll be ready to go.
It will. It actually, it's going to be two different awards, one for the $700,000 for the forgivable loan for the enclosures for well 2 and 3, and then a $3 million award for the westerly water.
Right, $3 million loan. Yeah. Okay, very good. So we don't require a vote. Is everybody okay with that schedule?
Give me that date one more time.
December 8th?
December 8th.
Be the second Monday, yes.
Yeah, second Monday. Good. All right, very good. Thank you for that. That's the plan. Okay, guys, that's all we have for the town manager's report. Any questions, anything else?
One comment, I just want to congratulate my commissioners. Tomorrow will be our 1 year,
Oh, yeah, congrats.
our 1 year
There you go.
of being a commissioner.
Give you one of those.
Congratulations.
Ed, not quite 1 year, you got 5 in, but.
All right.
And not,
but-
and not,
Year one of second term.
That's correct.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
You know, that was a quick
good job, guys.
quick 52 weeks. But,
Yeah.
you
Just
know,
like that.
I've had a great time, I learned a lot, and looking forward to educate myself and others in the next 3 years.
Great. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you guys for your service and your reservice. So it's been great working with you. So we got a great team these days.
You do.
And thanks for the dedication, the time that you guys have put into it. It's much appreciated. Same thing with town staff and all of our workability, et cetera. So it's been awesome. I've been around when it's not been awesome, and it's awesome. So
You don't say.
yeah, I do say. All right, very good. Anything else for the good of the orders? Anybody want to make a motion?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned by Alan, second by
Ricky?
by the rookie, by Brian. Motion made, second by Brian. All in favor of adjournment, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? None. Sarah, thanks for chiming in today.
Thank you, Sarah.
Appreciate it.
Hands on that plane. I couldn't resist.